In this video, I want to show you Digi-Pi, which does all kinds of sound modes: APRS, WinLink, WSJT-X, FT8, JS8 call, FLDigi, AX25, SSTV, node services, meaning that it also do packet radio. All this on a simple Raspberry Pi device. Let's get going. Okay, so the Digi-Pi right here is at Krager.org/Digi-Pi, or you could just come to Google and type in, and just go to Digi-Pi, and there it is, the very first thing. And so you can download it. It's going to come up asking for username and password. He wants some type of donation. You can donate, I think, $1 a month, but I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck for this thing. And then once you get that, you do the usual thing: SD card formatter. I have a card in here, so I might as well just go run through this real quick. Hope it's already running. So SD card formatter. Make sure you got the right card, format it. Yes. I'm putting all these links in the description as well. All right, so then after that, then you need to get the image onto the card. But you click Millennia Etcher. Actually, let me close it because it seems like right after it writes a card, it doesn't like to find things. So Millennia Etcher, flash from file. Like I said, I'm using a 1.9-4. They just came out with a 2.0. I've had trouble with that image, but not this one. Let's see if it's going to take it this time. Usually when I don't close my SD card formatter. Yeah, see. Let me make sure my SD card format is closed. And another trick is to right click and go here. I know everybody's on Windows 11. Run as administrator. That'll usually get things going. Just make the image that you download after you make the donation. Click that. Come on. Alright, so now it came in here. Make sure you're on the right thing. Hit the flash button. And like I said, you could just buy any kind of Baofeng radio or what have you. So the first time you plug that card in there, if you don't have it hooked up to a Cat5, into a router, it's going to automatically show up, I believe, as Digi-Pi, as the Wi-Fi hotspot. Like, basically, it's going to put off its own SSID. So you don't have to have it necessarily hooked to the internet. It will just pop up with, saying Digi-Pi. Let me make sure. Let me check the password. I'm doing this real time. Let's see. Digi-Pi SSID. I'm going to do this while I'm waiting on it to burn. All right. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So when it pops up, you're going to see a Wi-Fi SSID that says Digi-Pi. And the hotspot password, and people were laughing at me because they didn't understand that. It's ABCDEFGHIJ, and it's usually going to show you the IP address of this, which on the screen it should show this once it connects. So when you go in there, you're going to go to that initial page, and you're going to attach the Wi-Fi. But I'm glad I'm going through this before this gets done. So as soon as this gets done, just pop that thing into your Pi. If you have an Ethernet cable, it makes it a whole lot easier to install if you got the Ethernet cable plugged in, because it'll show up on your regular network, which in the description I'm going to leave a link for this free advanced port scanner, which is right here. And it'll scan through your entire network, and you'll find it says Digi-Pi here. And then once you connect it either through the Wi-Fi or after you have it plugged in through the Ethernet, all you have to do is just go and type this in, digipi.local. Just type that and hit enter, and that should get you going. But just remember, after this thing gets burning here, it's going to go and it's going to validate, and it's going to do that. You can cancel the validation if you don't feel like waiting, which I'll show you in a second. But you got to stick the SD card in that Pi prior to powering it on. See, validating, you can skip this. It's not going to hurt anything. You can pull that card out. I think I'm making this the last part of the filming of the video, so I apologize in advance if this video is all over the place, but you should be able to follow it. All right. I just want to show everybody this also. So I have it sitting in my living room right now. See, now that everything's configured, of course, now it's going to do this now that I'm using it, but it was just on here. It was showing the GPS. Maybe because I had too many tabs open. But you can see, look, it's updating. This is a little cheap Amazon GPS. I mean, it couldn't cost but 13 bucks. It's working just fine. And then to set your Wi-Fi up. So you got to know your SSID and your password in order to get the Wi-Fi set up. But that's where you go to set that up. So it's right here at the bottom, and they have a lot of configuring. You can get it as much, and here is a screen. See, this is what's showing up on my screen right now. Like, so if you can actually throw this device in the back of your car, or like I do, I'll go, they got a BBS close to me for a packet. I'll throw this thing on a battery pack and sit it up there with the Baofeng radio on top of the Ford Explorer, I call it the Exploder. But I'll sit it up there, and I'll come in here from the house, and I'll be able to send APRS messaging, and also I can send packet radio and everything from sitting here in the house, in a warm house while it's freezing cold outside. But this is definitely a good thing to get into, and I just want to show everybody this. I think you can make a donation, anything from $1. I think they recommend $5, but man, I'm telling you, it's worth every last penny. Let's see what else I got. And then say we go ahead and we turn this on. See, you can only turn certain things on here on at a time. So in other words, you can't do packet and you can't do, I guess you can technically do APRS at the same time, but you know, you can default that main screen. Say you have it on, you're using a regular PAT email, the email client that's actually built into here to send the email. You can have that as your default screen when you first come in there. But there's numerous devices to go into there. Now I'm going to tell you, I wanted to show everybody this that's setting up a Digi-Pi. I had a little bit of problems back in the past setting this stuff up. But you go to the IP address that you're connected to, 192.168.0.66 is what I'm using in this case. And this screen's going to pop up. Now, this is all the options that you have with this. But the first thing you have to do is initialize, which is down here. When you click initialize, this screen's going to pop up. Now, from what I gathered, it's best to go ahead and get all this stuff filled out correctly. And I'm going to be honest with you, it seems like it's a lot easier just to reburn a card, because it only takes a few, seconds. If you have it, ready, you could just rewrite it and reburn it, because you want to get this stuff right. So first thing is your call sign. If you have a WinLink password, you enter that in there. Now, APRS password, when you come here to this generate, it's going to open this thing up, and you can type your call sign in, and it'll generate a passcode for you. Okay, and then you come in here, mash it in there, you grid square. You can come here, there's a few ways to do it. You can enter any call sign in. Say you put I don't know, let's say, we'll put this in. So you enter in a call sign and see, it'll tell you your latitude. So you copy that. Your longitude, you copy that. Even your grid square, you copy that. Enter all that stuff in here. Okay. Then AX25 node pass. So that's your packet radio. Okay. So if, you know, just try to hold on to whatever this password is here, whatever you make it. Then down here, this is going to be a default mode. So what shows up on that screen, which you can see it does everything. Slow scan TV. If you don't have FL Digi, that's like the cat control for certain software. You got APRS, web chat, tracker. You got APRS, TNC, and you got just a standby screen, which will just show whatever. If you have just a regular screen, which you can get off Amazon, it's this one right here. You got a few versions. Since this one's come out, I have a Digi-Rig as a radio interface, and also if you have a large display, you can sit that in there. Now here's where the problem always was. This, for some reason, is working out correctly. But in the past, I've had problems trying to find my devices. And like I said, you want to get this right the first time. So I figured out this today. And what I did was I launched an SSH. Okay. And I put it in for the IP address. And I put it in as your, I put it in as a regular SSH. And it asks for the username and password, and I actually looked that up. So your username is Pi and your password is Raspberry, which it says right here. So it'll let you in SSH. Okay, so first thing I did was I did a sudo -s to give me super user access, so that way I wouldn't run into any problems. Then I typed in there bash DMESG. So bash space DMESG, and see, it reads out every single part of that Pi. And you can see clearly right here, here's the sound card. See, it's saying this right here, it's showing a USB HID device or what have you. And you can pretty much figure out what you have and where it is from inside here in SSH. And see right here, I have a GPS in there. And see this right here, how it shows TTY ACM0. It says USB ACM device. All right. So now if we go back to this, TTY ACM0. So rather than going off of this and getting it wrong and having to burn 1,000 cards, you can probably SSH, like just download PUTTY and go ahead and check it out. And now that I've done that, see, it's not showing any sound cards because the sound card in the Pi doesn't have a discriminator in it. But that's another long story. I'm sure you can watch a bunch of videos. And once you hit initialize, now this is going into, and then you got to click this restart button. And you should be golden from there. It should restart it and you should be able to use everything. But I just thought I would show everybody, but this Digi-Pi is a really useful thing. It's got all kinds of stuff. Like I said, you've seen the features that are on there. I mean, you're paying, you donate $1 to this guy. Let me tell you, look at all the stuff that you got. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever had to configure Direwolf before, but it's not fun. It's not fun at all. All this stuff is running in the background. So you can get off of just hooking it up to a regular cable off a little Baofeng that you got. You have the ability to send email, and you even have an email client and packet radio, and you can get on BBSs. This right here is a bunch of Pis and a whole lot of time that you're going to spend doing it. So my hat goes off to the developer. He has a lot of videos on his website, but he just came out with a 2.0 and version 2.0, and I can't get it to work correctly with my device. But I'm getting ready to go to the net, but I just want to show everybody that. So So if you have any questions, go ahead and just drop it down in the description and try to get to them. KJ5HLO, hotspot guy, out. What I used, let me see if I can find it. They sell them on Amazon. You can get them off from China a lot cheaper. Oh, you hold on. I'm losing my mind today. I got an ear gel in my ear and I'm listening to a net right now while I'm on here recording this. So let's see. I think it's APRS. So if you type in DTEC APRS, this one right here, this one will work in you if you got a phone or you have, like, this thing will plug in. You can do Droid APRS. I forget what the name of it is. I think it's APRS Droid, I think is the name of it. You can plug that into the side of your radio, that into the top of your phone. You can send APRS that way. Or you can use this with a Digi-Rig, which is what I use. You plug this right into the Digi-Rig, which if you want to know what a Digi-Rig is, well, since I got it up. Oh, not typing. I got too many screens open. You can tell this isn't my usual video. Right there. Wow. Man, it's insane how expensive prices have gone up on these things. I think I got this thing for $49. But see, you got an audio side and a serial side. So if you want the cat control, but you can make your own cable for the Baofeng. Like, it is not very hard. And like I said, if you order this that cable I just showed you with this, you're set, dude. You can do every single thing there is out there. APRS. You could do packet radio, using the 010, packet transferring protocol. I mean, it's unheard of. But you can get as much as you want into this thing. It does all, and it even says down here, works HF, SSTV, VARA FM sound modem, and also on a Digi-Pi. This FL Digi is a pretty big deal. It's not going to work for me because, of course, I don't have it set up. But you can cat control your radios. And I'm pretty sure you could wire this up, with a little ingenuity. Yeah, so you can't, but it basically turns it into like one of those SDRs. Like those people that have used SDR Sharp and stuff like that on a computer. It turns into one of those displays with like a dial menu and what have you, and you can move all that. I don't even know what this stuff is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know what this is, but just FL Digi controls your control. This here, I think that's just like, the digital, hey, are you there protocol, like when you give somebody back a signal report. A lot of people do that. But look at all the stuff that you're getting for $1 a month, up to $5. I mean, where can you get this, have this much fun? I'm just saying. I've configured this stuff before. It is not fun. I hope y'all have learned something from this. And sorry, it's on the site. I got people in my ear talking, so you know that is, especially when there's another net starting. I'm gonna let you go, KJ5HLO. Drop any questions in the description. The lightning's kind of bad, but this is my Digi-Pi that I have set up temporarily. So I have this is the GPS unit I bought off Amazon. It couldn't have cost but I think $10-12 at most. And they had this screen here. I think I got 3 of them. It fits right over the GPIO screen, the pins on there. It also work on the TW and a Pi Mini. And I have this right here, this USB I got from Dollar Tree. That's why it's so colorful. But on the end of that, I got that Digi-Rig Mobile. And you can see it has one for audio and one for serial. I stay out the green port. I'm on the black port right there. This here is the little plug adapter that I was showing you that I got off of Amazon, which this part I have a Q-Shang, I think it's a Q5, whatever this is, but this plugs into the side of that. And then on this part, the TRRS, so 2 R's in the middle, goes into that audio port. And if you look at the Q-Shang, when I turn it on,
welcome, channel mode 2.
I have 2 channels. This one, which is 010, which is the packet. I can't think of the exact frequency for packet, but I know it's 010.
1.
And then APRS is the 146. I forgot what the APRS frequency is. I can't think of it off the top of my my head. But you know, so you can just use one cable. And if I want to do packet, I just change this to packet and go into the settings and go to AX25 if I want to send, or if I want to send WinLink or what have you. And then if I just want to drive around and have my location tracked, I can just go to the APRS.FY. Now, I just 3D printed this case. They have several different cases, but this one should let the screen go right there in the front. I got this new Chinese tool, which is kind of cool. It's for boxes and styrofoam, but you can basically stick this little, it turns hot, and you can just basically just cut whatever you want in there. So if the screen's not this exact same one, you know, you can always use a tool like that to get it going. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty decent little thing. Let me see if I can get a picture of it booted up. And there you see it's powered on. And I chose this. It's a little slow because it is a Pi 3 version 1.2, which is a little slow. It's a little bit faster than a Pi 0. But as you can see, it booted up. It tells me what my IP address is. This is the GPS unit again. It's plugged in there. And inside there, you remember I hit selected standby as my screen. Whatever you choose. So if you had this as packet, say you had it as APRS, you would see all the APRS stuff popping up in here, and you could use these to scroll up and down through whatever you have in there. I have it on standby mode. Depends on what you want to do. The only other thing I can tell you from learning from doing this is if you do go with a Pi 0 and you get those, the reason I like this is because it's got USB ports on it. The ones I bought for the Pi 2.0, don't go cheap and read the reviews on Amazon, because some of them aren't exactly the best, I should say. And that'll, I'm kind of wobbly here, but it for some reason it wasn't reading the USB ports correctly. Like I was sticking the GPS in there, it was powering on, but it was like the computer wasn't receiving the data. So I ended up changing it out for a little bit more expensive one. I think it was around $30. But be really cautious. Like, read the comments, and if you get it off of Amazon, make sure that you're getting something that you want. But anyway, if you've dealt with a packet before, drop it in your experiences in the description below. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in there. I love hearing from you guys. This is KJ5HLO Hotspot Guy 73.